Blood in the water. Miami never slept, but tonight it bled. The water shimmered under the moonlight, dancing with red ripples only Dexter Morgan could see. The killer was close. He could feel it in his bones, a tingling in the part of him he liked to call the dark passenger. To the outside world, Dexter was a blood spatter analyst for the Miami Metro Police Department, quiet, mild-mannered, socially awkward. But behind that hollow smile was something darker, a need to kill. Not just anyone. Only those who deserved it. And now, someone was tainting his city with sloppy, brutal murders, victims dismembered and dumped in Biscayne Bay with zero finesse. It insulted Dexter's code. Harry's code. His adoptive father had taught him how to channel his darkness, how to kill only the guilty. This killer, he had no code. Just chaos. The body washed up near South Point Pier. Another one. Dexter knelt beside the corpse, letting his eyes drink in the patterns of dried blood and jagged cuts. Detective Quinn barked orders to officers while Deborah, Dexter's foul-mouthed, emotionally volatile sister, stormed toward him. "Don't tell me you're enjoying this," she said, hands on hips. Dexter looked up calmly. Enjoying would be the wrong word. Let's say, appreciating the artistry. Deborah groaned. "Jesus, you're so goddamn weird." The body was male, mid-30s, covered in deep gashes and bite marks. But what caught Dexter's eye wasn't the wounds, it was the plastic shark fin stabbed into the victim's chest. A message. The killer was calling him out. "Blood in the water," Dexter muttered. "What?" Deborah asked. "Nothing. Just thinking." He was thinking, all right. Someone knew about the Bay Harbor butcher. Someone knew about him. At night, Dexter stood over his kill room, a warehouse reserved for special occasions. His tools were laid out neatly, scalpels, plastic wrap, gloves. All in place. He was preparing for a date with a predator, but not the one he'd hoped for. He stared at the latest file from the Miami PD. The murders had a pattern. 4 bodies in 4 weeks. All dumped in the same stretch of the bay. Each with ocean-themed symbolism. First a fake octopus tentacle, then a coral crown, now a shark fin. The killer had a flair for drama. And then it hit Dexter, this wasn't random. This was bait. Someone was luring him out. He checked the security footage from the lab. A man in a janitor's outfit had slipped in during the chaos of a hurricane drill. Dexter zoomed in. The face was blurry, but the posture, the gait, familiar. Confident. Calculated. The killer had walked straight to Dexter's blood slides, and left a new one behind. It was empty. The next day, Dexter visited a charter boat captain named Earl "Hook" Danner, a grizzled ex-con who'd served time for manslaughter. Miami Metro had flagged him as a suspect, but nothing stuck. Hook ran late-night shark tours for tourists. The waters where the bodies had been found? Right near his routes. Dexter boarded the boat casually, playing the role of curious civilian. Hook was tan, shirtless, and wore a shark tooth necklace. "You ever hear of the Bay Harbor butcher?" Hook asked, leaning over the rail. Dexter's heart skipped a beat. "I've heard stories," Dexter replied coolly. Hook grinned, showing yellow teeth. He was an artist. Clean. Efficient. Unlike this new freak. "You think they're different people?" Hook laughed. "Please. You don't get a man like that if you care about morals. Whoever this guy is, he wants attention." Dexter smiled politely, but the dark passenger roared. Hook knew too much. That night, Dexter returned. Duct tape. Syringe. A kill room on the deck of Hook's own boat. Fitting, really. "You think you're better than me?" Hook growled, struggling against the bindings. "No, Dexter whispered. I know I am. And with a single slice, Hook became just another drop in the ocean. Deborah stormed into Dexter's lab the next day. Hook's boat was found drifting. His blood was all over it. You know anything? Me? I was home watching cartoons with Harrison. She narrowed her eyes. You don't even like cartoons. Parenting changes people. She snorted. Not you. Dexter chuckled, but something gnawed at him. Later that night, another body was discovered, but this time, it wasn't the killer's signature. It was his. Wrapped in plastic. Knife wounds identical to Dexter's style. Someone was framing him. Clayton Marsh. A disgraced forensic analyst. Fired for tampering with evidence. Obsession with serial killers. Dexter hacked Marsh's laptop. Dozens of surveillance photos. His apartment. His son Harrison. Deborah. This was personal. Dexter left bait, a fake blood slide. A note, you missed a spot. That night, Marsh crept into Dexter's apartment. Quiet as a whisper. But Dexter was quieter. The needle found Marsh's neck before he even saw the glint of plastic wrap. You're him, Marsh wheezed from the table. The butcher. You were sloppy, Dexter replied. Messy. I wanted to be like you. You failed. They'll come for you. They always do. Dexter leaned in. Let them. One cut. One slide. Another chapter closed. With Marsh gone, Dexter's world should have returned to normal. But the cracks were widening. Deborah was asking more questions. Quinn was tailing him. Even Batista seemed uneasy. And then, another body. Dexter's ritual. His tools. His style. But it wasn't him. Another copycat. He thought Marsh was the end. But Marsh was only the beginning. A message carved into the next victim, still watching. The killer knew Dexter was alive. Knew he was still killing. This wasn't admiration. It was war. Dexter reviewed hours of security footage. Each frame, a puzzle. And then, a breakthrough. A shadow behind Marsh in a photo. Another man. Dexter followed the lead. A name, Jonah Cray. Former FBI profiler turned freelance journalist. Last seen writing a piece on the Bay Harbor butcher. Dexter staked out Cray's apartment. Watched him. Waited. Then pounced. You're a myth, Cray whispered from Dexter's table. And yet, here you are. You think you're in control, but you're not. We're Legion. You inspired us. I never wanted fans. Doesn't matter. You have them. And they're watching. Learning. Dexter paused. Could it be true? Was he the father of a new generation of monsters? He ended Cray. Cleanly. Quickly. But the seed of doubt was planted. Bodies kept appearing. Killers mimicking Dexter. All different. All imperfect. A cult had formed, a twisted brotherhood worshipping the butcher. He couldn't kill them all. But he could scare them. Dexter left a message on a body. The real butcher is watching. It worked. For a while. But as long as blood spilled in the water, the sharks would come. Dexter stood on the deck of his boat, watching the sunrise. Miami glowed beneath it, beautiful, broken. Deborah called. Another body. Coral Gables. I'll be right there. He hung up. The sea was calm. But below the surface, predators circled. The Bay Harbor butcher wasn't just a man anymore. He was legend. And legends never die. The end.